Alright, so this LeetCode question is called remove element. It says, given an array nums and a value val, remove all instances of that value in place and return the new length. Do not allocate extra memory for another array. You must do this by modifying the input array in place with O of 1 extra memory. So all this means is that we can't create a new array to help us do this or any other data structures. Then it says the order of elements can be changed. It doesn't matter what you leave beyond the new length. Then it gives us an example. Given nums equals 3, 2, 2, 3, and val equals 3, your function should return length equals 2 with the first two elements of nums being 2. Alright, that sounds a little confusing, but all it means is this. We want to eliminate the number 3, right? So how many elements in this array are not the number 3? There are 2 elements that are not the number 3. So we just have to make sure that the first 2 elements no longer contain the number 3. And then we return the number of elements that are not the number 3, which is the number 2. All right, second example. Given nums equals an array with value 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 0, 4, 2, and val equals 2, your function should return length equals 5 with the first 5 elements of nums containing 0, 1, 3, 0, and 4. All right, so again, what does that mean? Same thing. We have the value 2. How many elements in this array are not the value 2? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements are not the value 2. So all that means is that in the first 5 elements, we cannot have the value 2. And then we return the number of elements that are not the value 2, which is 5. All right, so remember that val is the number we don't want at the front of the array. So how do we go about solving this? The key is to use 2 different pointers at once. And by pointers, I don't mean actual pointers like in C++. I just mean references to 2 different elements at once. So we have P1 and P2 starting at index 0. Now what we do is we check whether the value of P2 equals the number we want to eliminate. Yes, it does. So what do we have to do? We just move up P2 until it gets to an element that's not the one we want to eliminate, which is right here. So now what we do is we replace the element at P1 with the element at P2. So now that we've done that, we move up the references by 1. Is the element at P2 equal to the number we want to eliminate? No, so again, we replace whatever's at P1 with the element at P2. Now that we've done that, we move them up again. Okay, one last time. Is the element at P2 equal to the number we want to eliminate? No, so then we replace what's in P1, with it. Then we move pointer 1 up. All right, now when we try to move pointer 2 up, we're actually at the end of the array, so we're done. But remember, the whole point of this is to return the number of elements that are not equal to val. So the way to do that is to look at the index the pointer 1 is on, which is index 0, 1, 2, 3, and that's what you return. And that coincides with the number of elements that were not equal to 1 at the beginning. All right, so let's code this out. Let's just take a look at the function skeleton real quick. So what we're being passed in is nums, and nums is going to be the array, and val, which is going to be the element that we no longer want at the front of the array. So now let's start. What's the first thing we want to do? We want to create a pointer, let pointer 1, and we initiate that at index 0. So that'll be like right here. We'll off to the side say that's P1. Okay. What's the next thing? We definitely need to iterate over every element in the array. So we do that using a for loop. So for let pointer 2 equals 0. So if you look to the left, pointer 2 is also at index 0. And then we just loop over every element in the array. So pointer 2 is less than nums.length. And then pointer 2 plus plus. Standard for loop. All right, what next? We say if nums pointer 2 doesn't equal val. So if the element at pointer 2 doesn't equal the element we want to eliminate, and I'll just pause right here and say that this is counter to what's happening in our example right now. In our example right now, the element at pointer 2 does equal what we want to eliminate. So in that case, it's actually not going to hit this if statement. Well, it's not going to go inside the if statement. It'll just keep looping through this for loop until this condition is met. So that'll look like this. So it's saying if it doesn't equal the element we want to eliminate, so right now it does equal it, so it's going to go to the next loop. It's going to check again. Does it equal the number we want to eliminate? It does still. So it's going to go through the next loop. Now here we are. We hit the case where the element pointer 2 does not equal the number we want to eliminate. So what are we going to do? We're going to set the element at pointer 1 equal to the element at pointer 2. All right, so that's going to look like this. Look at pointer 1, change it to the element at pointer 2. And then what we have to do is move pointer 1 to the next element. All right, so pointer 1 plus plus. All right, so this loop is going to go a couple more times. So I'll just show you really quick what's going to happen. So pointer 2 is going to advance 1. It's going to do the check. Is the element at pointer 2 equal to the number we want to eliminate? No. So it's going to replace the element at pointer 1 with the element at pointer 2. Then it's going to advance pointer 1. Then it's going to try to advance pointer 2, but we're already at the end of the array, so it's going to end here. All right, so then remember the final step is to return how many unique elements there are. So what you're going to do is just return whatever index pointer 1 is pointing to. All right, see how we did. Oops, sorry, I meant to make that pointer 2. All right, see how we did. Looks good, submits. All right, so it's faster than 7% of JavaScript online submissions. I doubt that's right, but hey, it's possible. All right, so remember that, as usual, the code and written explanation is linked down in the description below. See you next time.